Ultimately, though, the most powerful check we have on Trump's authoritarianism is not the Congress, it is not the courts, it is the American people. It is all of us, each of us. Fear is Donald Trump's weapon of choice. Divide and conquer is his one repugnant strategy. Law firm against law firm, media outlet against media outlet, neighbor against neighbor. He counts on us being too scattered to oppose him, too scared of a truth social media post or an executive order, or the very real threat of physical harm for anyone to push back. So there's something incredibly powerful when someone looks King Donald in the eye and says simply and with their whole being, piss off.
Thank you very much. And thank you for your courage to be here, because in the society that we live in today, it takes a lot of courage to say that you're supporting President Trump. And, you know, it's really quite interesting how people have tried to manipulate people and how to intimidate people and change their minds. This has been going on since we've been in America. In the media, they like to pick on him, any little thing. You know, he's not perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. The only one who ever was perfect was Jesus, and they crucified him.
Adam Schiff thought he had this one in the bag. Then Dr. Ben Carson grabs the mic, calm, cool, surgical, and proceeds to carve up the whole damn narrative like his butter. On the other side, Democrat Senator Adam Schiff is locked and loaded for his signature move: fear, guilt, eye-bulging outrage. He tries slapping the racist label on Trump, waiting for the usual chorus of gasps and claps. Instead, Ben Carson flips the entire room on his head. Before we rip this thing apart, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Don't let the facts don't matter crowd keep you in the dark.
Thank you very much. And thank you for your courage to be here, because in the society that we live in today, it takes a lot of courage to say that you're supporting President Trump. And, you know, it's really quite interesting how people have tried to manipulate people and how to intimidate people and change their minds. This has been going on since we've been in America. You know, you go back to the days of slavery. You know, in a lot of the states, there were more slaves than there were owners. So what did they do? They had to divide the slaves. So they told the ones in the house, you're better than the ones in the yard. And the ones in the yard, you're better than the ones in the field. And then after slavery was over, the light-skinned ones, you're better than the dark-skinned ones. And on it went, trying to divide people. Today, they say, if you are a conservative, then you are somehow an Uncle Tom, you're a horrible person, you're a demon. What a bunch of crap, you know, but, you know, it's been going on for hundreds of years. And it's really time to put a stop to it. So I am very happy to see that you have the courage to come out. You know, it doesn't bother me anymore because, you know, I only worry about what God thinks. I don't worry about what these other people think. But, you know, sometimes people ask me, what happened to you? You changed. I haven't changed. I changed about 35 years ago because, you see, I grew up in Detroit, a bastion of liberalism. They call it progressivism now. They keep changing the name. But anyway, then from there to Boston, a bastion of liberalism. Back to Detroit, and then to New Haven, Connecticut, a bastion of liberalism, and then to Ann Arbor, Michigan, a bastion of liberalism, and then to Baltimore, Maryland, a bastion of liberalism. So I had no chance. I was a liberal. I was way out there. And then I did something that liberals are never supposed to do. I listened to a conservative. I listened to Ronald Reagan. And I said, you know, he doesn't sound like a horrible racist person. He sounds just like my mother. And at that point, I started thinking for myself. And that made a big difference. It made a big difference in my medical career, too. I didn't do what everybody else did. I always started thinking out of the box. How do you solve this problem? And that's the reason that God gave us these complex brains. Your brain has billions and billions of neurons, hundreds of billions of interconnections, It remembers everything you've ever seen, everything you've ever heard. It can process more than 2 million bits of information in 1 second. Would God give you something like that just so that you can be a sheep and follow what somebody else tells you to do, or to think for yourself? And you know, don't you find it fascinating that so many people say the president's a racist? He's a horrible racist and everything he does. Well, you know, it seems to me like some years ago, Jesse Jackson actually gave the president an award in New York City because he opened so many opportunities for black people. Is that what a racist does? And then when he moved to Palm Beach, he was right on the forefront to fighting the clubs who were not admitting Jews and blacks. Does that sound like what a racist would do? He is the one who finally got the Second Chance Act done. Does that sound like what a racist would do? When he took office, he brought the office of HBCUs to the White House so it could get appropriate attention, more money than ever. Opportunity zones so that people could take this money and direct it to the places where people did not have opportunities before. An economy where you have the lowest unemployment rates for black people in history. And it goes on and on and on. Let me tell you something. If he's a racist, he's an awfully bad one. He needs to go get a lesson from the real racists. The people who look at somebody like you and me and they say, because your skin is a certain color, you have to think a certain way. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you. And they start calling you names. Those are the real racists. But you know, the president believes that a rising tide lifts all boats. He doesn't believe in identity politics, and that's why he's doing things that work for everybody. And we should be happy about that. And the media, they like to pick on him, any little thing. You know, he's not perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. The only one who ever was perfect was Jesus, and they crucified him.
Schiff steps up with that trademark dramatic voice, like he's auditioning for a daytime soap. Trump divides this country with hate, hands waving, face twisted like the air molecules personally offended him, waiting for the applause that never comes. Dead silence. Carson just smiles. That slow, knowing surgeon smile right before he cuts out the cancer. The room knows something massive is about to drop. Carson speaks calm and steady, reminding everyone that division has always been the favorite weapon of manipulators. From slavery to modern politics, they've pitted people against each other to keep control. He drops it plain today. If you're a conservative who happens to be black, they call you an Uncle Tom. The same way slave owners shamed anyone who dared think for themselves. Schiff blinks fast like his brain just blue screened. He opens his mouth to spit racist again like a broken record. Too late. Carson hits him with a fact barrage bigger than Schiff's entire imagination. Trump fought country clubs that wouldn't let black or Jewish members in. Trump got an award from Jesse Jackson for helping black entrepreneurs. Trump delivered record low black unemployment. Trump pumped more funding into HBCUs than any president in history. Trump signed the First Step Act, reforming criminal justice. Carson locks eyes with Schiff. If that's racism, he's terrible at it. The chamber erupts in laughter. Schiff looks like he just swallowed a damn cactus. Carson isn't finished. He leans in with surgical precision. Real racism is telling someone how they must think because of their skin color. Democrats start squirming in their seats. Schiff's blinking goes into overdrive. Carson keeps going. The ones calling black conservatives traitors. The ones using race as a weapon to manipulate votes. They're the real problem. Not Trump. Not conservatives. Them, the Democrats look like someone flipped on the lights and caught them red-handed eating the country's unity in the dark. Then Carson lands the closer they never saw coming. A rising tide lifts all boats. We are one people under God. He champions opportunity, faith, personal responsibility, real progress. Not emotional tantrums dressed up as policy. Schiff tries to respond, but the room's already gone. Carson didn't just win the debate. He vaporized the whole narrative. Democrats came with labels. Carson came with facts. The segment ends. Schiff walks out looking like someone just repossessed his talking points. Carson walks out the same way he came in, calm, confident, victorious, never once raising his voice. If this takedown lit you up, smash that like button, drop Carson just ended Schiff in the comments, and share it with anyone tired of political theater and starving for truth. Stay informed. Stay bold.